Hello everybody, thank you for joining me today for today's question and answer videos that I do every single Monday. I want to welcome new people here. Hello, welcome. This is a question and answer video that I do every Monday to answer people's questions they have about recovering from trauma. All kinds of different trauma, from emotional abuse, from personality disordered people, to trauma at the workplace, things like this, okay? I'm answering people's questions from last Monday, and any questions you guys have today, go down below into the comment section and ask me anything you want, and then come back next Monday for my answer, okay? Thank you very, very much. If you guys think that I'm helping you and I can help somebody else, can you support me, please? Most of my viewers here are suffering from some form of PTSD, which is extremely high in suicide. Very, very high suicide rates. If this can reach somebody and save their life and keep them from committing suicide, that would be tremendous. If you could just push a couple buttons to help me, there's all kinds of different ways to help me, and that's subscribe to my channel, vote on the video, ask me questions, post this other places, put it in playlists, okay? Thank you. All I ask, please, anyone that asks questions, please leave your locations. Leave your locations. Tell me where you are from. Everybody did a really good job this week doing that. Thank you very, very much. I really like that. You guys know how I'm about that. I like to suggest something every single week, something to help from trauma. Sometimes it's another person or an author and their books. Sometimes it's supplements, vitamins, different kinds of therapy, supplemental therapy, stuff like this. This week, I want to recommend a quick little suggestions I made for defining one's self. This seems to be the theme this week, about people and their self and lack of self, lack of sense of self, stuff like this, self-instability. So I wrote down 5 ways to help you guys really define oneself, okay? Number 1 is identify your core values. Find out what they are. Really, really understand what you value at the core level of who you are. Okay? Morals. Find out what morals you value and start finding ways to express this. At least let it show in your choices. Okay? And people we have in our interpersonal life, make sure that we aren't compromising these things for people like that. Okay? People in our life. So make sure that people in our interpersonal life also value those same core values, okay? Number 2 is list your 10 emotional needs. Most healthy people value and meet about 10 emotional needs for themselves. Being that they're the most important thing in human beings' lives, it would be nice to know if you knew what they are for you, because they can be a little different for everybody. So why don't you find out exactly what 10 or around 10 emotional needs that you value, so now we know what we need. See that? We know what we value, now we know what we need. Next, know what you want. Week after week, people ask me questions and ask me what they should do, and I don't tell people what to do, but all I have to do is say, what do you want? And most of us don't know. Shoot, right? So if we know what we value and we know what we need, let's know what we want. Some people call those goals, okay? I say always have a plan. So let's come up with a plan, okay, for things that you want. Number 4, know how you feel. Know that emotions are our body doing all kinds of things. That's it. You know, and feelings are awareness of what this is. So let's have more awareness of ourselves by knowing how we feel all the time. So many of us don't even know, aren't quite sure. Is it this or that? I don't know how I feel. So try to understand that emotions can be layers of emotions. We can have deep-seated depression our whole life and anxiety every day and still be happiness, have little bits of happiness and stuff, okay? So know how you feel, and I can't tell you enough how much a diary or at least a daily log really, really helps with that. We want to be aware of ourselves. So let's know how we feel, okay? Number 5 is voice your opinion. Have an opinion. Know what you think of things. Maybe even go down lists of stuff and know what's your opinion. Literally, foods, countries, languages, cultures. What's your opinion on these things? And tell the people in your life. That's so important. One major major unhealthy thing that codependent type people codependent people do is they don't talk about themselves enough. Okay? I've noticed so many times codependents will have great friends and the friends give up on asking them all these questions and they don't tell people anything, you know? And so many people, us, have grown up not telling people how we feel, not telling people what we want, not asking for what we need. Okay? So those are 5 things that I think will really help you define yourself. You can start being more aware of these things. And no more negative I statements anymore. No more, that was stupid what I did, or I'm dumb, or I'm just an idiot. No more. No, 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 no more. Find something that you have to do every time you do that. Seriously. Make yourself do push-ups, sit-ups, stuff like that every time you do that. Pay somebody money every time you do that. Have somebody be aware of it with you. Somebody that cares about you and says, oh, no, you did it again. Give me $1. Okay? All right? I hope that helps. I'll put that down in the description box down below for you guys that want to know exactly what I said. Okay? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that's it. So let's get started with the questions right away. First one's from Steve in Australia. Hi, Steve. Where is the balance or fine line between having healthy, strong boundaries versus being too sensitive or not being able to take a joke? Is being too sensitive just a perception? For example, if you don't like what someone said to you and it made you feel a certain way, but they are sure they were joking, where is the line between laughing it off or standing up for yourself? Thanks. You are welcome. Great questions. I love questions about boundaries and emotions and other people's reactions to your emotions. So, Steve, your feelings aren't right or wrong. So, they just are the way they are. And we don't tell people how they feel. Okay? And it doesn't matter what somebody did. It doesn't matter what people do. It doesn't matter what you do. Just how you feel about it. That's it. So, Steve, your friend that told a joke, and maybe he means it as a joke, right? Maybe he just meant it as a joke. But guess what? Steve didn't like it. There's a little something there that just, little sting there that I don't like. Well, it's up to you, Steve, if you want to speak up and have boundaries and say don't do that, or if you want to let it go and wait for another time for it to happen again. That's up to you. And that's your boundaries, and boundaries are your comfort level. They can't be too sensitive. That's the way you feel. People that say you're too sensitive are inconsiderate, unempathetic, rude, dismissive. We don't know how somebody feels until that person tells us. And we don't say that feeling was wrong. We don't say that's too much. We don't say that's the wrong feeling. And we definitely don't say you should feel this way. Or you should feel a little less like this because I do, because somebody else does. And we definitely don't compare. That causes low self-esteem. I hope I'm clear. I think that's enough. But keep asking me, and everybody. Oh, and everyone. I misunderstand questions, your guys' questions sometimes. We have language barriers. We have my bad reading, you know. But sometimes I misunderstand, and so I give a wrong answer. And sometimes I skip people's questions. I make mistakes. I forget them, or I pass over them, don't see them. So just please keep asking me again. Please keep clarifying the question. Keep asking me repetitive questions. We need it. All of us need it, okay? And I'm here doing this because I want to. So it's not bothering me, okay? Thanks. I hope that makes sense. Boundaries. Healthy, strong boundaries doesn't mean that you regulate your emotions well, right? Healthy, strong boundaries simply means that you communicate how you feel really well. I don't like that right there. I don't care for that. That made me feel anxious. That made me feel scared. That made me feel bad, rejected. Okay, so please don't do that again, and that's your boundaries. And there is no too sensitive. People all have different reactions, different emotions, totally. And if we don't care for somebody and their emotions, right? Because that's a part of their self, then we don't care for that person then. Then why are you around them? For me to sit there and say, you're to this, you're to that, it looks like I'm trying to change you, right? Hope that makes sense. Thanks, Steve. Please just keep asking me more questions. Your boundaries are your boundaries and not mine. And your emotions are your emotions, not mine. And they're all different. We're all different people. Okay? Thanks. Michelle from Michigan. Hello, Michelle. Hey, David, I'm from Michigan. I'm no contact with my mother. Highly narcissistic traits. Do you think it is a good idea to tell people why I'm no contact? Can you ask me more, Michelle, on today's video down below? Can you just be more specific? As far as like, who? I think that, right, who? You don't need to post it on your social media accounts for everyone, right? But if your family members, if your siblings wants to know why you don't talk to your mother anymore, you don't even have to say, oh, because she's a narcissist. Just always say how you feel. Because feelings aren't right or wrong. Okay, Michelle? So if somebody wants to know and you want to explain it to them, you want to tell someone, you don't want to just not say anything and you're scared of smearing, right? It's okay to tell somebody how you feel. It's good. So you can say, my mother hurts my feelings. My mother dismisses my feelings. I feel hurt and I'm too anxious around my mother. She causes me fear. I'm scared. My mother's dangerous. See, you don't have to say anything she did. It's just how you feel, right? Because that could all be the same thing to another person and they don't feel the same way. It's you, okay? So, my personal opinion, I think it's okay to tell some people how, or maybe everyone, how you feel, okay? Thanks for asking. I'm glad that you're so considerate. Next question is from me. Just says me. I don't know where you're from. Please tell us where you're from, me. Thank you. Everyone, tell us your locations. Just drop by and tell us your location even. I love that. Some people do that. Me says, I hate this. I cut ties on the 10th. He hasn't reached out. I know he doesn't care. He used me horribly. However, I miss the hell out of him. I know it's my own self-worth that makes me want to contact him, but damn, every day I miss him. So obviously we're confused, right? You say you miss your abuser. You don't, do you? It's not him. Do you see that? You don't miss him. You miss this toxic relationship and your hormones rising and falling, and we're addicted to that, okay? I just want you to know. That's the definition of codependency. You're in a codependent, toxic relationship where your 4 happy hormones risen and fallen too much, and that's what it does. That's what happens in addictions. Okay, so it sounds like you're addicted to the relationship. You don't miss him. Your brain says he will raise your hormones again. Okay, but there's other ways to do that. Healthier ways. Okay, I hope that helps, and I'm sorry for how you feel. I really am, but a lot of times that helps the truth, being clear on what's going on. Thank you. Lisa Mack. I don't think you state where you're from, but Lisa doesn't ask me a question. Lisa posted something she calls a self-sabotage release form, and I like it. And I just really appreciate anybody that takes their time to offer something beneficial or could be beneficial for someone else. So I just want to recognize it. So I'm going to read it. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa says, self-sabotage release. Delete all self-sabotaging behavioral patterns that no longer serves your path. And she has a form here. It says, I, blank, your name, blank. I, and state your name, choose to safely release all my self-sabotaging behaviors relating to blank. Abundance, courage, comfort, faith, intact, health, peace, power, respect, security, progress, family, flexibility, empowerment, intuition, responsibility, marriage, exercise, energy, career, nourishment, positivity, gratitude, illumination, faith, greatness, power, my bounty, surrendering, empowerment, vulnerability, intuition, life purpose, unconditional love, positivity, support, happiness, understanding, freedom, healing, purpose, potential, trust, and any other ones you wish to add here. Blank. I choose now to be free and empowered in all my life choices. Standing in my power benefits us all. Yes, it is my gift to me, and stand in my power. If you would like these self-sabotaging behaviors lifted from the beingness that is you, say yes and your name, and imagine them being blown away by the wind to be cleansed by the sun's rays. Love yourself first and foremost. Go love yourself. Awesome. Thank you, Lisa. You guys can find that in part 1 of last week's video if you want to see it. Dun, 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 dun. Next question is from Hayden in Portland, Oregon. Thank you for making your videos. You're welcome. Thank you. Over the last 2 years, you have given me one of the most reliable and stable friendships, and it means a lot. Coming from Portland, Oregon. Well, thank you so much, Hayden, for saying that's very, very nice. I'm new to the area, actually moved all the way from Charleston, South Carolina to get away from my narcs that were holding me back. I half owe it to you for being strong enough to leave. Just want to let you know that you are great and you really do make an impact with your voice. Hope you are well, healthy yourself in the midst of being here for so many others. That is so nice. Thank you, Hayden, so much. And I do try to take care of my health too. Thank you. And good luck in Portland, Oregon. Don't go downtown, huh? Let's do one more for part 1. Beth in Georgia. Hello, Beth. How do I get over losing $120,000 to my ex-narc? I fell for his victim stories, future faking, promises, and manipulations. The money I provided over the course of a year was all a loan to help get him back on his feet. I did get him to sign a promissory note for a portion of it, but he's still completely broke, so the note does no good at this time. I feel so stupid, embarrassed, depressed, and hurt, and think about it every day. I obsess about pursuing legal options, even though he has nothing to go after right now. Should I send demand letters just to try and scare him? Should I sue down the road if he ever gets a job and makes money? Should I just let it go? I'm no contact, but I do check his social media to see if it looks like he is making any money. I had to refinance my home to get out of debt. 7 years of equity down the drain, and now my new payments are much more. How awful. I'm so sorry, Beth. That's a lot of money. I'm not going to tell you what to do. That depends on what you want. That depends on what you need. And that depends on what you value, Beth. Okay? So figure those things out. Be very clear on what you value. And if money's at the top of that, then go after him. You can sue him now. You don't have to wait. Okay? I wouldn't wait. I wouldn't check. I wouldn't look at anything. I would find out right now what you value, what's your real core values. And if money's not one of them, I'd let it go. I'd let it go. I've lost tons of money to people too, and I'm not trying to take away your experience. It was hard for me to let it go. So it's going to be probably pretty hard for you to let it go too. I would get help, Beth. Get emotional help. Professional help, okay? Really, really, really. There is so much more to learn from this experience than just the loss of money. I'm sure you've lost a lot more than this money. I think you might have even lost yourself. What do you think? We tend to in relationships like this. Financial abuse and exploitation always happens first in abusive relationships. Okay? And it's something to absolutely watch out for. You need to heal from this so it doesn't happen again, Beth. I would spend a little bit more money on professional help. Okay? But whatever you decide to do, that's up to you, not up to me. We're different people. Okay, Beth? And if you want legal advice, go ask a lawyer, okay? I'm sorry I can't help you more than this, Beth. But most problems we have out here are usually fixed by becoming healthier in here. Okay? Good luck. Thank you, Beth, very much for asking me, and I'm terribly sorry for the amount of money you've lost in this relationship. I'm going to end part 1 here. Thanks, guys. Please, like I said, share this where you can. Vote. Subscribe if you haven't already, please. It really helped me. And anyone interested in coaching, I'm currently taking new clients. DavidDemars.com. Thanks. Love yourself. First, see you in part 2.